Catherine, and today I have a layout that is for 52 weeks of 52 favorite photos of everyday life, and it is also up on the Pretty Little Studio blog today. So I have these two photos, which were not everyday life necessarily. They were a little vacation that we took. We actually went for a wedding. These were just a special breakfast that we did with the kids. And I really love these photos, so I wanted to get them documented. This is from a couple of years ago. Actually, it was from 2021, so it's quite a while ago, and they're still not documented. And so that's why I pulled them out for today. Some of my favorites, and it's just one of those things that I didn't know what I wanted to do with them. It's a pirate. I want to use the You Are My Sunshine collection, and I am going to make a pirate page work with this beautiful You Are My Sunshine collection by using a couple of cut files. So I found just on Cricut Access a couple of cut files, and I cut those out of black cardstock. So I'm going to use this map, and it's going to work out to kind of make the whole thing look like it's a pirate page, even though I'm using this summer collection. I cut out a couple of others as well, and I'm only going to use one of them because I don't have a lot of space. But I may use those on the coordinating page that will have more pictures. I may even do a pocket page for that. I'm not sure. But I was going to mention this cut file was in Cricut Access. Like I said, I just put it in Pirate, I think, and this came up, and so I chose it. It was actually supposed to be cut a little bit smaller, and I wanted to make it the full page so that it would kind of be in the background. And to do that, I just stretched it to 11 inches by whatever the other size was. And then I did an offset. And instead of making an offset that makes it larger, I went in the negative with my offset. And that offset is what I ended up using. So I made it just a little bit smaller because when you expand a cut file in Cricut, it doesn't keep the same outline. Since this was an outline style cut file, it doesn't keep that. It just makes, as you expand, it's making the border larger and larger, the outline. So I did the offset, and just like I've talked about before, when I'm using offsets, I will make the offset, then I select, oh my goodness, I don't have it in front of me. I'm not doing it right now. I select both I select all, but select all, then I hit slice. And then I pull out the bigger, thicker line, and I just keep the smaller line. Sorry, that shouldn't have been so hard. So you can see I have chosen my background paper, and I love this. I think it goes perfect with this map. And so I'm going to make that work. I did reprint my pictures into a little bit smaller. So instead of 4x6s, I chose to print them in 3x5, and I just thought they were just a little too big the other way. And I had printed those at Shutterfly or something like that, and they weren't great color anyway. So I like this better. I was able to get a nicer color, and so that's what I'm going to end up going with. I'm going to mat it on this favorite piece. This is all I have left of this one. So I'm using up a little bit of scrap. I'm going to use some packaging, and I'm going to use some 6x8, and I still cut it because I didn't want to waste it. The 6x8, that is, that's sitting there, that dark blue with the stars. It wasn't going to show the whole thing, so I ended up just cutting a bit off the top and the bottom. This one had been torn from a previous layout, so I just tore the other side and I went ahead and peeled off some of the white that was already torn there. I had Every Summer Has a Story in two different die cuts, and I decided on this one. I think it's going to fit better right there, so I kind of like that. You can see I've pulled in the pirate ship also, and I like that. This is my X marks the spot, and I know where I want it, and so then I'm going to pull out the little dotted lines, and I decided I would make them just go right over top of my photo mats here. And I thought that was kind of fun. Otherwise, it's going to be so lost behind the photos anyway. And I'm going to end it so that it ends up right there with the title. And I thought that was kind of fun. And then my pirate ship can be right in there. I'm going to move these tags over here. There's just not a whole lot of embellishing needing to be done when the background is so pretty. I do add a few stars and some other things, but I'm not going to do a lot of embellishing. I wanted this to look like the little pirate dinner. I guess it was breakfast that we went to. I did fussy cut a few clouds that's going to go up there and add that banner up there for a little bit of embellishment. So there's the 6x8, and here's where I decide it's not going to show much of it, so I might as well just cut it and save some because I love that blue star paper. It's so pretty. So my adhesive was being weird, so I end up using a little of the wet glue also on that, and then that's my last layer. And I like how that looks. Just adding a few layers behind the pictures, add exactly what I needed on this one. I think it, and then you can add in the black, my little dashed lines here. But yeah, I like adding layers behind my pictures, and I haven't done that in a little bit. I used to do it basically on every layout, and I haven't done it as much. So I think it was perfect for this. It adds a little something when I'm just going to use one background and not have anything else to cover it because it was perfect as it was, and I love how it looks. There's so many things to see on Melissa's backgrounds, and this really kind of highlighted that it could be used for anything. And I think that that's so much fun when you can take just a cut file or some embellishments or something like that and make the line be something totally different than what it was intended. And I think that's kind of a fun little challenge. I am using some of my 1mm foam tape to pop up the title, and I'm also going to use it behind a couple of stars, not these sticker ones, but the die cut ones that I'll pull out here shortly. And then I'm also going to pop up that boat, the ship. It's kind of hard to see on screen, but in person you can see the stars just fine. They were not supposed to be, really drawing your eye away. It was just one more thing to the background. So I went ahead and put the foam tape on off screen, and then I'm going to add in these last few die cut stars. I put the yellow one down at the bottom under, just kind of bringing that around. It's also covering up some little pink paw prints that weren't really bothering me, but I just thought that was a good place for it. I have some black twine I'm going to add to my tags, and I apologize. In the final pictures, I hadn't trimmed up the lines or trimmed up the the twine on my tags. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. But I've trimmed them now. I thought they looked really funny in the photo after I took it, but I didn't have time to retake another photo when I was uploading. This is when I noticed it, and I didn't have time to take another photo. So in the actual layout, the twine is not it's not as long, and it does. I think it distracted with the X with that twine there. So I've trimmed it up, and it looks way better now. I got the boat down, and it's kind of sailing in towards the X. This was such a fun little event. It's I think the Hangout at Gulf Shores does this all the time. You just have to make your reservations in advance. My title that's going on here is going to say The Hangout, but they have pirates and princesses, and then after you eat your breakfast, there's a whole little show that goes along with it, and the kids have to go to different little areas, and they end up finding some uh, treasure. So that was super fun, and the kids were the perfect age for that. They really enjoyed it. The little tag that I have there, or little says vacation. So I'm going to end up with it down at the bottom. I had pointed at something, and I don't have it here in front of me now, that I was going to cut out, and I also didn't notice that until I was watching this back, but I ended up not cutting it out, and I may have to go back and add that because I really liked it when I was finding it. So also, since it doesn't bother me, I'm going to add a couple of hearts to go along with my stars. And it definitely doesn't bother me at all. I like hearts and stars, and I will put them both on the same page. Let me know in the comments if you are anti-heart and star on the same page. It kind of cracks me up. I don't know why that bothers people. It's never bothered me. I do it all the time. I think I can use a heart and a star on a boy page anytime. It's kind of like, throwing a flower on a girl page. It doesn't matter. There's always room, right? So we love this, and I thought it was fun, so I'm going to go ahead and add these little hearts there to finish off that cluster, and that is it. So there's a playlist down below. It talks about, or it will lead you straight to the full list of all of the 52 favorites, ladies that are playing along with this hop. It's something that we do every Monday, and it's also just one long list so that if you missed last Monday, you can watch until you are caught back up. So that's kind of fun too. This is also on the Pretty Little Studio blog, and you can go there to see all of the products that I used. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.